This is an interesting figure which nobody knows who makes this. It could well be a French-made figure. That the French Holocausts in the 1930s were very, very imaginative. The totem pole in the back comes from the Canadian gift shop at Toronto Airport. This is a BMC box. So again, I'm right on theme with this one. That's one of the nicest 1920s boxes that I've come across, and contains BMC Indians on foot. Nothing like the pictures on the label. There they are. You can see they're not quite so spectacular. Some more items from the outgoing gift shop at Toronto Airport. And by contrast, this is a Rico box of Red Indians, about 1920-ish. This is perhaps the most spectacular French Holocaust figure ever made. These are all larger than 54 mil. There's a dime store Indian, 70 millimeter elastolin, 100 meter 100 mm elastolin. That is a large Haida figure. These two are Hill, and that is a clockwork bucking bronco in tin plate. Contrast and compare the large size 60 millimeter Marks plastic figures and the smaller sized 54 millimeter Marks figures. And some French. I love these. They're by a firm called Michel or Claret. Was taken over by Starlux, and there's a couple of Italian rubber Indians and the hill cowboy and Indian firing at each other over their very well trained horses. I'm not quite sure why I included. Oh yes, I know. At one time when I was buying soldiers from Phillips Auctions rather than actually doing the catalogue, I was at the toy soldier sale on the occasion of the first ever example of this to come to auction, turning up in the very early days, probably about 1961. Sorry, 1960, no, that's not right. 1971-ish. And I thought, as many others at that sale did, that it was possible that this would be the only example of this particular vehicle that would ever turn up. And so in my ignorance of whether that would be the case or not, I bought one of these at the time, and subsequently have sold some hundreds, if not getting to maybe 1,000 of them in later sales, which just goes to show that when you think you're getting something rare, it may or may not be true. I like having a picture of it at least. I used to own a number of them, but that has a moral tale to go with it. This is something I used to have in my collection. I don't any longer have it, but it just goes to show that a nicely designed box makes for a spectacular display. I believe I've actually got some of these. I rebought more recently because this one I had from the time when Wendell were actually selling them, about 1952. I got one of those, the officer, and I managed to pick up some of these much more recently at auction. But I don't have this spectacular box anymore. It used to be one of my absolute favorites. This could well stand for the Ukrainian war because the Russians are still using these tactics. The opponents here are Trojan Germans, a not very widely spread company in the UK, and this is roughly the equivalent amount of Germans as against the Russians in the latter stages of the war. This was the sort of thing that went on.
Breaking news from Toronto, Canada. Stuart Hesney, longtime editor of the world's premier toy soldier magazine, has confirmed that he will be in Toronto on April the 14th to make a public presentation.
On Sunday, April 14th in Toronto, I look forward to sharing some stories about the toy soldier and model figure hobby with fellow enthusiasts. I hope you can join me and the great people of the Ontario Model Soldier Society. All are welcome.
This is Checkpoint Charlie. I think the MPs are Crescent. There's a couple of a couple of West German Timpo figures. There are some MPs, two asset ones, one Britain's one from the railway set, a number of Britain's second grade. This is a very rare Irish Fusilier or something similar, that would have been a figure that might have appeared in the coronation procession in 1953, never issued by Britons. Some Ericsson Authenticast Russians, a Britain's Russian, and some real Russians made in Russia. I once had a conversation with the curator of the Russian museum that has about 5,000 examples of those and not much else, which is quite fun. This is my small group of Zulu war figures. Some quite nice little conversions from the lying firing figure with the horse converted, and some Blenheim figures with Blenheim Zulus. And I'm very fond of Naval Brigade as well, with the I forget the, this is Blenheim or Marlborough, and then that's a rather earlier model set with a Gardner gun and a Maxim gun. And these are figures which I commissioned from Blenheim. These ones marching along, and some recast hill sailors with straw hats, which are quite fun. Oh, this is my my desk mascot. I got that in Japan. Nice little anime lady. I'm quite fond of this this band. This is the one of the more modern Britain's pieces. The Loyal Purbaya Regiment. It's really not a bad band at all. Something they didn't do in an Indian Army band in the old Holocaust. My aunt used to live in Italy, and she used to find these Italian plaster soldiers for me, and got quite a number of them for me. Sadly, they're very prone to losing paint and losing crumbling. So I don't have any of the ones that she once gave me. I might have one or two, but these are very representative of that sort of soldier. These are done by Derek Whalen. I like to have a few Fusiliers other than my Britain's Fusiliers, and these go very nicely, thank you. This set is the first Airfix paratroop set, and this is the first plastic toy soldier that Airfix did way back in about 1951, 52. They were very early. It might be the earliest British-made plastic toy soldier. I do like finding toy soldiers that I don't know who they're made by. And they go in with a little cameo that I have of soldiers in peak caps, in sort of full dress, as at the coronation of George V. Here are a few other attempts at the same sort of thing. I don't know who most of them are made by. That's a Fry figure, those are Fry figures, and these might be Fry. Not sure who these are by. Again, outside the this is a Mignot set, which I love, because they use a Prussian figure with British. They're supposed to be British infantry in greatcoats. Of course, they've sort of not discovered that the British infantry in greatcoats, the greatcoats are grey. But they think, being British, that they ought to be they ought to be read. This is my current fortification in my guest bedroom. Mary, sadly, having passed away, I've allowed myself to spread myself a bit, and this contains an awful lot of different plastic forts and plastic fort building kits, and it's garrisoned by various people. This is a front view of the Mignot figures we saw a couple of pictures ago. Here's a close-up of the fort. I'm currently in the